Intergovernmental Group of 24 on International Monetary Affairs and Development, known as G24, at the just concluded annual meetings of the World Bank and IMF, called for immediate global actions to assist developing countries in managing their escalating debt vulnerabilities. The G24 is a group of developing countries that was established in 1971 with a goal to work together to coordinate the positions of developing countries on international monetary and development finance issues. Director of the G24 Secretariat Iyabo Masha says there has to be a concerted effort in addressing global shocks as Nigeria battles a foreign exchange crisis fueled by rising inflation.
The point is that they're driven from two different forces. One is the external forces, like things happening beyond countries' control, say the rising interest rates in advanced economies. The second one is domestic policies. So for a country like Nigeria, or indeed any other country, they will need to strengthen their domestic policies. They need to be more focused on domestic production, domestic demand. So that way they can reduce their demand for foreign currency and be able to address some of those exchange rate volatility. But on the part of the global community, they would then step in with financing, with some form of debt relief to assist these countries. So it's a two-way traffic, and both sides have to play their role.
Headline inflation increased to 26.72% in September 2023 from the August 2023 headline inflation rate, which was 25.8%. The September 2023 headline inflation rate showed an increase of 0.92 percentage points when compared to August 2023 headline inflation rate. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) in its latest release revealed that on a year-on-year basis, the headline inflation rate was 5.94 percentage points higher compared to the rate recorded in September 2022, which was 20.77%. On a month-on-month basis, the headline inflation rate in September 2023 was 2.1%, which was 1.08% lower than the rate recorded in August 2023. The increase in the headline index for September 2023 was attributed to the increase in some items in the basket of goods and services at the divisional level. The food sub-index for September 2023 increased to 30.64% on a year-on-year basis, which was 7.30 points higher compared to the rate recorded in September last year. The rise in food inflation on a year-on-year basis was attributed to increases in prices of oil and fat, bread and cereals, potatoes, yam and other tubers, fish, fruits, meat, vegetables and milk, cheese and eggs. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the request of the chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), Professor Bolaji Owasanoye, to commence his pre-end of tenure leave beginning on November 4, 2023. The president has already approved the appointment of a new management team for the commission, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu as the chairman and chief executive officer, and Clifford Okudiri-Okparaldu to serve as secretary. The ICPC in a statement said its boss had last week communicated his desire to proceed on his pre-exit leave to the president through the secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume. He leaves behind 98-page compendium that shows 104.696 billion naira cash recovery, with the highest sum achieved in 2022, while assets recovered, restrained, seized or forfeited totaled 450.999 billion naira within 2019 and 2022. The Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Mr. Lamido Yuguda, has tasked the private sector to rise up to the challenge of sourcing long-term financing from the capital market that would fund the provision of infrastructure in the West African sub-region. Yuguda stated this at a pre-event press briefing on the forthcoming West Africa Capital Market Conference scheduled to hold in Lagos October 25th to the 26th with the theme Infrastructural Deficit and Sustainable Financing in an Integrated West Africa Capital Market. He disclosed that in many countries, the responsibility for the provision of infrastructure has been steadily moving away from government to the private sector, owing to increasing demand and reduced ability of the government to fund infrastructure alone. adding that the need to tackle the infrastructure deficit in the sub-region as well as embrace principles of sustainable finance to promote economic development are some of the issues to be discussed at the conference. The conference is being jointly organized by the West Africa Securities Regulators Association, WASRA.